For Creamer Media's Polity, I am Shannon de Rehove. Chantyl Mulder, Senior Executive for Professional Development at the South African Institute of Chartered Accountants, joins me to discuss the improvements in South Africa's matric mathematics results. Welcome, Chantyl.
Thank you very much.
Now, poor mathematics results in matric and in general are a national issue that the government is supposedly addressing. What is government doing, and what would you suggest they do to improve the maths levels?
Well, I think everybody, particularly government, has been trying very hard. But if, this year, I think you've seen the results, the matriculation results. Overall, we've improved the national pass percentage, and they then obviously also announced that there's been an improvement in the mathematics results, the pass percentage again, from 47% to 54%. So there are shifts, but I don't think that the shifts are enough and in the right direction. Now, when one goes and has a look and you say, but what exactly do we mean by a pass percentage? Now, I think one needs to go and have a look at that as well. It's 30%. Now, 30% is not a pass, and we've got to encourage them to start striving for pass percentages far higher. Now, your problem is mathematics is the gateway subject. You can't get into any of those professional to go and study to do medicine. You can't study to be an engineer. You can't. So there's so many career choices that are left out for these youngsters, and it's just not good enough. So you've got to start, I think you have to start measuring something completely different. I just happened to go and look at a couple of statistics of late where I wanted to go and see, well, what has our mathematics passes been? I can't get the race breakdowns, but above 60%. Now, I can tell you the majority of those passes are white children. And if you have a look from, and I have them here, from 2008 to 2011, in 2008 we had above 70% passes countrywide, okay, in mathematics, 25,000. In 2011, 13,000. So the picture's not getting better. And that's where I'm so concerned, because I'm saying, well, what effect does this have generally? And we speak about, we've got a skill shortage, we speak about, and I think you've seen a lot of it, about the infrastructure development project that's coming up. We need some of these critical skills, but you can't build them off a base where our mathematics results and the number of children getting proper quality mathematics passes are at the level that our country requires.
Now, another issue is the quality of maths education, with a lot of students choosing rather the subject called maths literacy rather than what we could term pure maths. What are the problems with choosing maths literacy over pure maths?
You need to provide youngsters with as much opportunity as possible. And because we've got a proper lack of career awareness, we have very short-term focuses. Even within the schools, we say, I've got to get these throughput pass percentages of schools as high as possible. Now, what are we going to do? So let the children take life orientation, all these silly little things that actually mean nothing. Now, what you do is you immediately make the child's choices so narrow. And I suppose if you really wanted to, you could go back and try and fix it and go, yeah, but why don't we just get it right from the beginning? And give children as many choices as they possibly could and take as the right subject, so that they've got that option when they finally get into grade 12.
Now, one of SAICA's prime functions is to rapidly grow the number of African accountants specifically in the country. How are you planning to do that, specifically focusing on the Tutuka Bursary Fund?
SAICA couldn't do it on its own. We needed to form critical public-private partnerships. We then decided to hold various people accountable. And we also decided to work with children from rural areas. We work in deep rural areas. We've got massive teams all over the country. We identify talent. And then we provide them with complete bursaries. All the Tutuka students are housed on campus, proper accommodation. They're fed. They've got textbooks. So it's total bursaries. They're expensive. It's 80,000 Rand a bursary. And we go out and raise the funding, and that's where public-private partnerships have come in. We work with employers, because the youngsters go back and serve their training contracts. We've brought the universities on board. All our vice-chancellors of all the universities where Tutuka is work with us, the heads of department, the deans. So it hasn't been an overnight process. We work very closely with the Minister of Higher Education and Training. He's critical in all of this, and the universities are accountable. We're not spending all that money and we're going to be satisfied with 20% throughput pass percentages. We want 70%. Last year, the Tutuka students' pass percentage board was 81% and the country's national average was 61. We've got in excess of 1,500 students somewhere in our pipeline. We've got a lot of them serving training contracts. You know, they're all throughout our pipeline. So you'll find first, second, third year. We've got students honours year. We've got students who will be writing board now and have just started their training contracts. And what thrills me is I have youngsters in our profession. Your top students get to do academic articles, which means one of the years they serve at the university teaching. Many of our Tutuka students are doing academic articles, so they're acting as role models for the youngsters coming. And this year, I have got about 4 Tutuka students countrywide in the university's top 10, which means overall in the country, they stand an incredibly good chance of coming in the top 10 of the country's results.
Well, I thank you so much for your time, and I really wish you all the best with this fund.
Thank you, Shannon. Thank you very much.
That was Chantyl Mulder, Senior Executive for Professional Development at SAICA, discussing South Africa's matric maths results.